a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Is your office technology holding your business back? At Hamilton, we're more than just an IT provider. We're your partner, focused on building integrated technology solutions tailored to your business needs, both today and for the future. We know that every business is unique, and that's why we provide the services and support you need and nothing you don't. We believe that together, you can continue to serve and support your customers while knowing that your technology is taken care of. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at HamiltonIsBusiness.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essink.
All right, welcome in, Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, March 2nd. It's a nice day out in Lincoln. It is also our daughter's 22nd birthday today. So I can guarantee you our kids are not listening.
Maybe they are. Maybe Katie's listening because she wanted to see if we shouted her out on her birthday.
I doubt it. But anyway, happy birthday to our daughter, Katie. Yep. 22 years old. Mm-hmm. Just a quick funny story, Harrison, about the night before she was born. You can tell me if I was a bad husband or not for this. So texters, you can text in 402-464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line. Before I get to that story, we are having a visitor. Not a visitor. We do have a guest.
Kindergarten class.
Yep.
That's such a unique way to say it.
We have a visitor today. It's going to be zooming in from Peoria, Illinois. Wayne Galpin, who was the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping's $10,000 national challenge winner. He took the reins away from Mark Onweiler, who is now the former champion. Wayne is now the current champion.
Yep.
So we're going to visit with him here coming up at 9:30. And then next week, we have the female that $10,000 winner. So
National challenge winner, Jeff. National challenge.
I think $10,000 sounds cooler.
I know, but that's not what it is. It's called the National Challenge. we've had this conversation.
I was just
before.
talking to AJ last week, and I told him, I said, AJ, it would have been nice to win. Who probably would have won if Mark wouldn't have been in it. And I said, but you know what? Now Mark's having to pay taxes on that money. So hopefully he saved up a little bit. And AJ was like,
true. We'll catch you in the end.
Yeah. AJ's like, well, that's true.
You don't just get $10,000.
Yeah, he does. AJ
Right.
wasn't getting that 1099 to turn in to. Now he has to pay, $3 or $4 grand on that money. So hopefully Mark saved a little bit for that day.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, what's your story?
Okay.
about?
So Harrison, the day before our daughter was born, there was a boxing fight.
Wasn't this on? Oh, it was Saturday.
It was a Saturday night. Harrison, you
Yeah.
would have been, how old are you? 26?
5.
25. Okay. So you were 3. So you wouldn't have known this was going on at the time.
There's more context that needs to go with this, though, and this is more probably in your defense. But
my defense.
I know, because so I started having contractions at work on the Friday before she was born. She was born on a Sunday, and I have a little piece of paper still that I was keeping track of the contractions at
You
my
have
desk.
that piece of paper?
Yeah, it's in
Oh.
Katie's stuff. So
Oh.
yeah, I was keeping track of them, and like. It was fine. I was working. I also went to a work bowling trip that night too. So I went bowling while I was also having contractions. And then the next day we had planned to have people over to watch this.
Yes, there was a
match.
boxing match. It was Roy Jones Jr.
And
was
also your first kid. Like, I don't know what I was doing.
Roy Jones Jr. was fighting a heavyweight for the first time. So it was like kind of a big deal.
Yeah. And boxing's still a big thing.
It was back then, yes. I don't know how much of a big thing it is now.
It was.
Bud
It's not
Crawford's
today.
fighting. Yeah. So, I mean, back then when there was a pay-per-view, people got together.
Yeah.
Right? I remember as a kid going over to my dad's friend's house and watching Evander Holyfield and Riddick
when
Bowe.
we did this, was it still like the paper? No, we had like direct.
No, it was
TV.
paper. We had to order it on pay-per-view.
Okay,
So-
I know. But even before that, like before you could order things on pay-per-view, Harrison, you had to go down to the cable company and rent a box to take home to watch the pay-per-view.
No
and you had
way.
to
Yes.
take that box back home.
Yes.
So I was thinking it wasn't that. You could, it was on
Yeah.
demand. You could
Yeah.
order it. But
we ordered it
back
on
in
DirecTV.
the day,
I've never heard of this.
Okay.
Era. That
You
sounds
had to do
crazy.
that.
So you had to go.
So if you're older like
in
me,
the 90s, you had to do
the
that.
80s.
Well, 80s and
Yeah,
90s.
because I remember, for the WrestleManias.
Yeah, that's what I'm
WrestleMania
thinking of.
WrestleMania 2 would have been like 1985, 84, 85. You couldn't watch it at home. It was on closed circuit television. So I remember I was 7. We went down to Vets Auditorium. It's kind of be like PBA, right? And we watched it on big screens at Vets Auditorium in Des Moines. And then we kind of did the same thing in WrestleMania 3. And then in WrestleMania 4, yeah, you had to go down to the cable company and get an adapter that then you plug it into your deal, and then you would get the pay-per-view.
And then you got to return it.
Then you got to
Mhm.
return it. Yeah.
How much they charge you if you didn't return it?
I mean, I don't even. This was 30 some
You
years
did it.
ago.
You returned it. You did not return it.
I don't
Back then,
remember
it
what
was-
they
trust
charged,
was an
but-
all-time high.
Yeah, we didn't have. You didn't.
A few
do
dollars, maybe.
things
I
if
don't know.
You didn't want to do them. Yeah.
So that's how pay-per-view works.
That's crazy.
Way back.
Anyways,
Anyway, so we used
But
to get.
it happened when we were married, because I remember taking one back at one point. So it had to have happened in the late 90s still.
Yeah, you had to go get a special
Because
box.
it was like on Ingersoll or something. You had
Yep.
to go try. See, I
Yep.
remember dropping one off, probably
MediaCom.
for wrestling.
So yeah,
Anyway,
like so
sorry.
we would get that stuff, and you get together, because one person would get the little box or order it, and then everybody would come over. So Roy Jones Jr., I don't even remember who he was fighting, but it was a heavyweight, and Nicole was basically, I had like my dad was over and my friends and my brother and Nicole. As we were out there watching the fight, Nicole's just in the bedroom having contractions.
That's not true. I was out for a lot of it and still having contractions because our friends Mike and Anissa were there. And Anissa was in medical school. And so every time I'd have a contraction, if I'd like touch my stomach, I swear she thought she was going to have to deliver a baby.
Right there in the
Like,
living
she
room.
was she was the most upset of anybody, not even of me, that happened. But so I
So-
was in the bedroom probably for some of it, but I was out there for a lot.
And then in the morning,
Jeff's
you're in the-
watching boxing.
Yep.
Well,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watching boxing. Yep.
Priorities, got it.
Yep. And then the next morning, I was playing college football
Oh my lord!
with my buddy, in the living room while she's having contractions
So did
in the
Matt
bedroom.
stay over at our house?
Shh. I don't think he stayed. I think he just came back the next
He
morning.
came back in the morning.
We're playing. Oh, I'll
Was
tell you
that-
what, Harrison.
Your wife's
My team,
wife
See,
just
that
right
one's,
around the corner
that
from
one's
labor.
the one that gets me.
my team was loaded too. I mean, my
Shut
team
up.
and my buddy Matt, in kind of in our defense, he was in the military.
Oh, no.
So he came back on leave to be here when Katie was born.
And then he's like, "Hey, what are you
So we're
doing
playing-
today?" And you
oh,
said
we're
nothing important.
playing-
My wife might go in a labor.
Playing college
but-
football. No, it's fine. I mean, we were at, it's not like we left and went somewhere and she's just having
Sure,
contractions.
you're
in
at
the
least at your
bedroom.
place.
But as Matt would
But was
as Matt
it-
would tell the story, he'd say, we could hear from the bedroom and you just went and shut the door.
That's not true.
I
That's
know.
not true. But wasn't that Saturday night the night that we did go to the hospital and Matt went with us?
No, it wouldn't have
Was
to
that
been like
Friday
maybe
night?
Friday night, I think.
Jeez, Matt was over a lot
Well,
Then-
he's back from military leave.
because there was, I think that Friday night I did go to the hospital and Matt was with us
Yeah, he was with us.
in the car.
So it's just
And Matt is not the person you want in your life when there's a crisis because he's just going to joke about it all the time, no matter what. He has no like self-awareness that this is not the time to be making jokes about whatever, me complaining that I'm having a contraction.
yeah, it was kind of I mean, it was annoying, right? We're trying to I was playing our Dynasty on Sega Genesis, and it was just, just,
And he was 22 at the time. Isn't he my age?
yeah.
So he's also on the age just not to know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I
should,
was
but-
22 too.
And if you knew any better, you would
And
get
how-
on Jeff immediately. Be like, "What the hell are you doing
I
playing college
should've.
football
I
with
know.
Matt in the morning?" Like,
That's
I'm
true.
going through a lot right
In
now.
hindsight, I'm surprised I didn't say anything about it.
Trying to
It
pass
must
the
have been
time.
a lot more easygoing back then.
Gosh, just all the moaning from the bedroom. It's like, can you please keep it down? I'm trying to focus. It's 3rd and 7 at the 20. This is for the national championship. Come on.
I can't believe you remember the team that you had. That annoys me the most of all of the
Do you
team.
remember the football game?
the game. You were like, my team was stacked.
Well, it was always stacked. Doesn't matter what game it was on. When you do Dynasty mode,
Great answer.
All
yeah,
right,
it was always
fine.
good. So anyway, happy birthday to our daughter. She's
Yeah.
22
Anyway,
today.
I give you a pass for that. It's fine. I allowed it. I think if I would have put my foot down, surely you would have. Actually, I don't think you would have, because another fun story one time when Matt came back from the military, when like earlier on came back for the military, we went in to his house and to see him, and Jeff left me at his house, Matt's house, to go eat fast food with Matt, and left me at Matt's house with his parents because I wasn't allowed to go.
That's how it's done, guys.
I'm so confused. Wait, what? Why weren't you allowed to go?
Because
we
Matt was on leave from the military. This was before Katie was born,
we
so
had
I
a
was probably
few-
like 19 or
A few
20.
things to talk about,
Now I want to know what you guys
Man to
talked
man,
about. That
right? Man
really-
to man without a woman
So
around.
I was there. We went to Matt's house
That's funny
to
you
see
left
Matt
me there.
on leave, and Matt and Jeff left me at Matt's house and went to go eat fast food. Bebop's, it's a restaurant we don't have here, but went to go eat Bebop's. They left me at home. And fun fact, Matt's dad was a police sergeant, and he's like a mean version of James Earl Jones. Like, especially when you're a teenager, he's scary. And I just had to sit there like a little mouse while you guys went. So that
And you know
you
what,
probably
guys?
would have just even if
I-
I put my foot down.
I've been hearing about this for 29 years
Yeah,
now, so
it was traumatizing.
probably shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, you probably deserve to keep hearing about it.
It
too.
was traumatic.
That's crazy to just leave her at your friend's
I
parents.
know. And we have a texter that says, sounds like people that are from Iowa. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
and
an
I'm
Iowa move.
still here. So
I've
I
wisened
guess-
up since I moved to Nebraska 7 years ago.
That's why
I've gotten better, I think.
Yeah, definitely improved. That's what Nebraska does.
Well, speaking of Nebraska, Harrison, I was just wanted to
bent.
yeah, because I was watching that basketball game yesterday and as listening to the shows and the last couple weeks and hearing about how Nebraska's only been to 8 NCAA tournaments in the history of the basketball program. And I know that they've never won an NCAA tournament game. Growing up in Iowa, like I didn't really follow Nebraska basketball because, like, one, they were never on television, right?
Yeah.
2, You don't have Twitter. You don't have the internet. It was just like, you just watch what was on cable and stuff like that. So I watched Iowa State. I mean, I was a big basketball fan, knew what was going on, but Nebraska was never like top of mind like football was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was listening to like Early Break and Sipple and Bill Bush, and they were just talking about a Nebraska ball fan. And I see Jake's tweets all the time about
Jake's an angry man.
Favorite
He's been
team,
angry
and
for
I'm
a
just
long
like,
time.
well, I was thinking
Did
like,
you see his tweet yesterday?
Oh,
He
was.
You want to see Jake Sorensen lose his mind? Wait for a bad Nebraska basketball day.
Oh, yeah.
That one gets him more than just
that
about
was
anything
yesterday.
else. Yeah, yesterday it's always, and he'll tie in. I'm also a Dolphins fan. Give me more sympathy.
Did you see his tweet? Because that's what the tweet was.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I saw.
Oh,
It.
okay.
Yeah. He
I thought
does
you
that
were
every.
saying,
You can go look at every tweet though.
that's what I mean. I was thinking
He'll
you
tie in
hadn't
Dolphins.
seen it and you were still saying.
Yeah, no, he'll tie in Dolphins though every time. He's like, give me some extra sympathy.
well, as I was watching it, it's like, gosh, you guys, I mean, you've just been in the trenches for all these years, putting up with it, losing seasons. I mean, it's tough. Is it tough?
It sucks.
At least for me, like, I think feel like for Nebraska football, like I lived through the 90s, right? I mean, I've seen the peak, the national championship. So it's like, there's a part of me that's like, hey, we've been there before. I know we can get there again because I've seen it happen.
What's that hike that you guys went on a long time ago? First hike out
In Colorado?
I wasn't that tall.
Oh,
Scotts Bluff.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the point of Scotts Bluff when we're talking about peaks and valleys.
So we haven't gotten to the okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But I was like, and I'd always give like
that show was literally last weekend, like 3 years ago. So good call back there, Harrison.
Jeez,
the Mount
you guys been doing this
Kilimanjaro
for a while.
Yeah.
Well, where I was going was like, when we were firing coaches that won 9 games and 10 games, and I mean, I just get beat from these Iowa people living in Iowa. Like, you guys think you're so great, and I always throw back at the Iowa fans. It's like, okay, you Iowa fans are okay, and I might get lit up. I don't really care. This is Nebraska. Iowa fans are okay winning 7-8 games a year. That's good. They got all their little bowl appearance banners hanging in their workout facility. We have our national title banners. They have their bowl appearance, the 2007 Holiday Bowl banner, right? They're proud of it. That's fine. I'd say, yeah, you're fine with that because you have never tasted the peak, the pinnacle of college football like I have. I've seen it. I've lived it. They haven't. So I'm trying to picture a Nebraska basketball fan, maybe like an Iowa football fan. It's like
pretty similar.
Why were this like everybody's like, oh, I mean, because I said something to one of our members the other day, and he was like, yeah, we're just in the golden era of Nebraska basketball.
No.
We've won all these games in the last 2 years, which is the most in like since the 1990s. It's like, wow, this is the golden age, and
you can make a case. Strick back in the day, Tyloo, that era, that was.
Yeah.
That would be.
That's what I mean.
age.
Like going back to the 90s. Like,
okay. Yeah.
So like in the last 2.5 seasons, they've won more games in the last 2. But it's like, still, it's just like this is it. The pinnacle. We're at the pinnacle.
Well, in the
Nebraska basketball.
Your Iowa, like we would totally be okay just to win one March Madness game.
Right.
Like Iowa would be happy just to win the Big Ten tournament.
Well, Jake,
or not the tournament, but the Big Ten championship.
You see how it happens. That's how
I
it
guess.
happens.
Is it just this is how it is? Like Sipple said, people just shrug their shoulders.
Oh,
like,
but it drives me nuts though. Like Northeast Nebraska, I don't know what Creighton's doing over there, but they're definitely spreading propaganda because there's so many Creighton fans where I grew up, and I would always try to root for Husker basketball, and it was Creighton fan. Well, McDermott era, exciting player. That's like kind of so everyone loved watching him, but yeah, it just got nothing. And we're gonna have Omaha, the University of Omaha, the Mavericks. They're going to be in the conference tournament.
Well, they got to win the conference to get in there.
I bet they're favorites, though, I think, to win it right now.
Yeah, they're in first place.
Yeah.
But it's like...
we might be the only D1 program on the outside looking in.
Like kids growing up, you're talking about being Creighton fans. It's like, it's I'll tell you, it's hard to have gotten my kids to be Husker fans.
Oh, I bet you.
Right?
It takes a lot of recruiting these days.
You got to fight against the Bamas and I mean, how many 10, 11, 12-year-olds here are like different teams? Because it was easy for me. Like my whole life growing up, Nebraska was good. They were good. They're always winning the Big 8. They're playing for title. I mean, it wasn't easy to be a Husker fan when I was a kid. So, you've experienced that, but it's like, ooh, I mean, it must be tough to be a Nebraska basketball fan. Just to have never seen that.
I get really scared
I
because
don't
it's
think
been
this
that long.
is like breaking news.
No,
I feel like
I just think it's an interesting conversation.
we
You know,
should have
it's just
talked
like,
about this with Andrea. She could have told us the psychology. We need to get some type of like sports psychologist that tells us the psychology of like being a fan. And
but
how
then
it
we're
works.
Bears fans too. So
Yeah.
My biggest fear is like I have it in my head because I'm like only 25. And I always have my like eventually you'll get eventually like just through the course of time. And like I'm looking at some of the history of the teams I root for. I'm like, there's a chance I die. And I just never get that like exciting year of my team actually winning. Like I've had an exciting game.
That can't be true.
Stretches. I don't know.
How many
It's looking bad.
teams? How many fans truly have had to go through that though?
How many? And anybody who's a Nebraska basketball fan
Well, that's
since
true.
the start of its origin has really
But-
outside of like
yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
and then
beating
I think,
Kansas
then
back
I
in the
look
But
day.
at
how many times were people like fans of Nebraska basketball because you're a fan of Nebraska, but like you still didn't have an expectation of greatness? Like how long was that? Because I feel like since Hoiberg's been here, there's been much more of an expectation, which the higher you climb, the harder you fall, or whatever. Why'd you make that face?
It's kind of similar to Tim Miles, though. I feel like the Tim Miles.
I mean, I have no awareness of Nebraska basketball before we moved
People were
here.
totally upset when Tim Miles got canned.
Oh, okay.
I remember.
So there was an expectation. At
Yeah,
some
there was.
point.
I mean,
Okay.
people wouldn't be upset. The expectation's there. That's why this is.
Well,
Maybe it shouldn't be there, which is
talked
terrible
about
to
this
say.
briefly a couple times that Jeff in Iowa was a Kansas Jayhawks fan, not a
Of course.
Nebraska fan.
we've
Of
never
course.
talked about that.
We have.
No,
We have
never.
briefly a couple times, but that was because you would say like, well, Nebraska's bad at basketball and we didn't live here.
Right.
Wow. You've watched, I don't know when the last time I saw you watched a Jayhawks.
Yes, now I can tell
game.
you every Nebraska
Right.
player.
You are a
Jayhawks
Nebraska
lost yesterday,
basketball.
too.
I know
Yeah.
one Kansas basketball player, and that's Hunter Dickinson, because he transferred from Michigan. So I'm all wrapped up in the Big Ten now.
Yeah,
I've
now
been
that we've moved here, I would say you're a Nebraska basketball
But-
fan. But
to Harrison, like I see like these teams like take, I might get lit up for this too, but like take St. John's, right? Rick Pitino goes in there and they're going to win the Big East. He's been there 2 seasons.
I
In
could have
his
told you he was a
second-
great coach for VDU.
Second season.
would he have been a great coach in Nebraska?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I don't know. I'm asking.
Anywhere.
So I just don't understand how different coaches can go to different programs. And then I see the Missouri. I saw this stat yesterday. 2 years ago, the Missouri, they were 0-18 in the SEC. This year, they're 12-5. Like, why does it take our teams freaking 10 years to turn something around?
We just don't have what the St. Peter Peacocks had, the UMC Golden Retrievers. We just don't have that in us. Those programs got more funding, better recruiting.
St.
I
Peter's,
am detecting strong sarcasm.
Yes, I am
Passive-aggressiveness.
so just frustrated with just how this
Well,
drags
Especially
on.
when
and
you
it
were
makes
there.
no
You
sense.
said you were at the game.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one hurt.
That's hard. That's rough.
It was when early on Braxton me, I went 0 for 4 for free throws, which, just got to
Well-
make, at that point, just make one of them. And I got to the point where the crowd was just like, when they get really excited, just to
Yeah.
like, please, like, ooh. And then, he made one free throw and the crowd was like, it went crazy. And then
well,
the game
Well, 'cause
unfolded and it got
you
quiet
wanna-
again.
Be a part of the excitement.
and then it's like you have a guy for Minnesota who's a 24% 3-point shooter, goes 5 for 6 yesterday.
Well,
5 for 6, including the game winner.
doesn't matter. They scored. I just
That-
still don't
yeah.
care. They scored what, 67 points?
That's what Jeff said at home when we were talking about it, because I wasn't there. Jeff was like, he won whatever he just said. And then he said, but it doesn't matter. We deserve to lose that game.
We
Yeah,
had
they're-
14 turnovers.
Right.
We only had 6 on the day. We had 19 points off turnovers. Like at a certain point, dude, the philosophy of defending the
That's
paint like
huge.
that, that's the shot you're okay with them taking. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But you got to score a little bit more offense
I
if
know.
they're having a good night. Sometimes that's going to happen, especially if you're going to give them the 3-point shot over the paint. And it's just,
Then their
that
best,
could go on for 5 hours.
their
about
best
it.
player gets 4 fouls with like 5 minutes left. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is your chance.
Yep. Here we
The
go.
leading scorer in the Big Ten is on the bench. Then he comes in for like 1 minute and rolls his ankle, and he's out for the end of the game. And it's like it was just right there on a silver platter,
Uh-huh.
and it was funny because Ben went into his room. He was, I've done, and so I was sticking it out, and
That was
I was maybe
In the trenches.
I was right there on the chair, just I didn't turn the channel.
Come on, boys.
They were coming back, and I was
Was the
texting
cat
people.
laying with you though?
No, cat wasn't laying with me.
You weren't even cat trapped. Okay.
So they made they made that tip in. Juwan during the tip in, and I was like, yes, like I screamed it in the house. So by the time I said yes, Ben took his headphones off in his bedroom. And he opened the door. Minnesota had already made a 3 and took the lead. So when he sees the television, we're down by 2 instantly. And then they missed the shit. And it was just like, well,
never mind.
Yeah,
forget it. Go back in your room.
Well, all this did not poop on the whole thing. There was still a little bit of hope. If you win one March Madness game, which is still a possibility this year. Well, nobody gives a damn about the 7-game losing streak.
Here's what I'm
last one.
a little
worried.
worried.
That's how the cycle continues.
This is what I'm.
It's a sick trap.
This is what I'm a little worried about. I think this is Fran McCaffrey's last year at Iowa. Their final game could be at PBA. There's nothing those players would want more than to come in and beat Nebraska, keep us out of the tournament, beat Hoiberg, who's been a thorn in Iowa's side as a player, as a coach at Iowa State, as a coach in Nebraska. So that's next Sunday.
I don't
11:30.
like that.
Oh,
I don't like that.
They are 15-14 overall. That is going to be a desperate. They're just not going to care.
They're going to be they're going to be fighting to get into the Big Ten tournament for one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they're gonna. It's kind of like not caring is the wrong word, but like a very desperate. The same way what Maryland almost lost to Penn State. Yesterday. Like just very desperate. The bottom Big Ten teams right now are almost scarier than like the middle tier and upper because they're just
they're fighting to get into the Big Ten tournament.
It's tournament style play for them already.
Yes,
little cornered animals.
And Iowa plays Michigan State. They're probably going to lose, right? So and if we lose at Ohio State, that game next Sunday could be to get into the Big Ten tournament.
Why do we do this to ourselves? That sounds terrible.
So with that, we're done talking sports.
And as Crowbait says, Husker baseball's going on too. So
yes,
that is true.
Even though they did
we are going
lose
to talk
to
about
LSU
baseball
after being up 5-0 and they lost at 6-11. But LSU, number 2 team in the country, it's
LSU did lose to Omaha earlier this week. Did you see that?
All right, let's go to break.
Yeah, all right. It is too late.
All right, we're going to go to break. We're going to be joined by Wayne Galfin, our national challenge winner, coming up on the flip side. Stay with us. 927 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
It takes hard work to make Nebraska the right place to raise a family, build a business, or grow a community. We're counting on working parents to make it happen, and they're counting on childcare professionals to have their backs. Employers and other contributors can earn up to a $100,000 tax credit for strengthening childcare in our communities and state. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Healing the heart takes heart. Our dedicated team of cardiac experts is here for you with breakthrough treatments for serious conditions and expert advice for living longer with a healthier heart. We bring healing care to our community with over 90 cardiology specialists and subspecialists and more than 50 locations across Nebraska, Southwest Iowa, and northern Kansas. Find out how we heal hearts with heart, starting with yours at chihealth.com/heart.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through March 4th is $1 off crisscross pretzels, buy one, get one free on hot dogs, and $2 off on Piedmontese brats. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, and at 168th and Maple Streets in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We are super excited to be joined all the way from Peoria, Illinois, Wayne Galpin, who is the Farrell's 2024 national champion. Wayne, we are from Nebraska. We haven't seen a national championship in 25 years
That
here.
is not true. We just had a national champion last year with Mark Onweiler. So stop
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's been a year.
No,
It's been a year,
that is not even true.
but we are now the former champions.
Yes. No.
So, Wayne, thank you for
2024 champions. 2024 champions.
2024.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Wayne, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have you spent all that money yet?
When I get it, I probably will. Yeah. My wife's been hounding me for a vacation, and I got some car parts to buy.
Yeah, I think you earned it.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us. I know it's been kind of a whirlwind the last couple of weeks for you. So we'll first want to start off with our listeners to get to know you. Obviously, you didn't go to school in Nebraska, but we want to know kind of where you grew up, where you went to school, and then if you played sports in high school or college.
Yeah. First off, I wanted to say if you guys hear my kids or my dogs, I'm sorry. I'm in the basement right now, kind of down in my little man cave area, and they like to be really loud. So if you guys hear that, I apologize. But I am I'm born and raised here in Peoria, Illinois. Unfortunately, it's pretty cold out here as well in the winter times. But I went to school, Richwoods High School in Peoria, and I did cross country and track. So I was a runner back in the day. Never played any sports until I got to high school. Not really sure what possessed me to start running in high school. But that's pretty much where my high school went.
So do you have any like one shining moments from your running days? Like you won the 100 by or whatever track thing you were in, like anything you would tell your
about track.
Well, I know you put one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you can throw a javelin. Stuff
Yeah.
I've seen on Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh gosh.
I'm not really sure why. I was pretty good runner back in the day when I was in high school. So I ran varsity from my freshman year for both cross country and track. I'd say probably the highlight, I think my sophomore year, being a varsity runner, I would run up, but being young, they would let the seniors and the juniors run in the higher competitions. But I won a sectionals. Not really sure what you would call it, but basically, so they had like a sectional race, and then they had like a backup sectional race, or I'm sorry, regional race, not sectional, but a regional race. So I won the I don't know if they call it. It starts with a C. I can't quite remember exactly what it's called, but I won one of those races. I won quite a few, little small events here and there. Nothing too crazy. I did get a letter from Who's Who in Sports when I think my sophomore year in high school. Never went to college for it. Didn't go to college at all. Kind of went right out of high school right into work. Unfortunately, wish I'd go back and change that, but that's where we're at right now. So, but yeah, I had a really good time with it. Met a lot of really cool people and a lot of cool experiences. Something I never thought that I would do. So it was a good time.
Did you continue to run like into your 20s and stuff? Like, did you ever do half marathons, full marathons, any of that, or was it just kind of in school?
Just basically in school. So life got really complicated for me once I got out of high school. Kind of had to move out type of thing. So I met my wife the summer after my sophomore year. So we're high school sweethearts. So once I got out of high school, basically I didn't really continue on with any of that kind of stuff. I wish I would have, but in hindsight, when you're young, you don't really know what to expect when you kind of get out on your own. So that's kind of where it went from there. Life kind of took over, and basically started working and got my own place, and that's kind of where it went from high school from there.
Mm-hmm.
What what events did you do for track?
I was a distance runner, so I did the 1 mile and 2 mile race in track.
Okay.
See, that's why track was just, I was never drawn to track because that's like distance is 1 to 2 miles. I prefer to run longer distances than 1 to 2 miles. So to me, like for that to be long distance is just kind of funny, which obviously that's what like cross country is for, whatever. Nobody wants to go see a 5-mile track meet. So like, I get it, but
no, that's true.
Right.
Cross country, you're just kind of like, okay,
the finish line.
Where are they at?
Yeah.
Just wait for, I guess the kids nowadays will run 20 some minutes for their cross country, where me it'd be like 40 minutes. Like, where's this person finishing their 5K?
I think my fastest mile was a 4:56 for the 1 mile. My fastest 3 mile was a 16 flat. I didn't get any better than that. If I would have applied myself a little bit more, I probably could have. I always wanted to run some 5Ks. They always kind of fell through, but I tell you what, now that I've gotten myself in some pretty good shape, I've been talking with a couple of other people, and we're definitely going to get on board with that. I think we're going to do some tough mudders. Hopefully this year, definitely going to do some 5Ks this year and kind of see where it takes me. I might I might try to get into some kind of a triathlon or something like that. I'm interested to see, how I've pushed myself over the last year. I'm interested to see how I can put it back down to paper and see where I'd end up today and see how well I would do going through something like that. So pretty excited to give it a shot this year.
So at your location, do you guys still do the timed mile as part of your testing?
We do it. It's not required. When I finished, or when I started, I cracked off. And again, I haven't run since high school. I ran, and I ran the entire time. I think it was a 9:21 or 9:50, somewhere in that neighborhood, right in there. But I did finish it without stopping.
We're only laughing because our first mile times at Farrell's were abysmal. Like you were probably in your car on your way home by the time we got done running our mile.
No, for some reason, when I was bigger, for some reason, I don't know. I always have a lot of endurance, a lot of stamina. I'm not really sure why.
There's something with it, I know, and just the speed, because I just can't push myself to go fast, but I can go
we could probably run an under 10-minute mile.
I mean, my fastest mile was 8 something. Like I've done I think like 8:14 was my fastest.
Well, it's funny, Wayne, is when you said my fastest mile is 4:58, everybody in the room was like, holy
he's fast.
He's super fast. Like I like when I'm out running, there's times where I've just been like feeling like, man, my legs are gliding. I mean, I look like just professional Forrest Gump out there running, and I'm looked down at my time and it's like 7:10 pace. I feel
Which
like
is
I'm
not
just
bad, but it feels right. Yeah.
I tell you guys what, in high school, that wasn't, I mean, we had guys run the 3 mile with a split at what my fastest 1 mile was. I mean, like literally these guys were running, almost sub 14-second 3-mile runs. I mean, and state level guys. I mean, I was nowhere near. The gap between like a 16 to like a 1450 or 1430 was pretty significant. So, I mean, you really, once you start getting into that aspect, the gap grows quite a bit. But I tell you what, I was dying when I did my first 1 mile, and I wanted to do the 1 mile again when I finished my 1 year, but it was icy outside and the weather wasn't very good. So I decided it wasn't a good idea to do it. So I'm curious to see what I would crack off of that 1 mile again, but I don't know that I would have got that time, but some of the instructors that was there, specifically John Bennett, was dragging me along and pushing me. And, I was definitely dead at the end of that 1 mile. It was everything I had to go through and complete it. But I wish I would have got a chance to finish it again at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't do the timed mile in our program. Again, in Nebraska, like it is really a crapshoot. The
winter challenge,
the winter and spring
Mhm.
challenges, more times than not, it would get canceled because of weather. And we have a lot of virtual members, so we don't do it anymore. But that was the good thing about it. Like you were immediately immersed in the like teamwork part of the program during that timed mile. So that was the one good thing about it. But there were lots of negatives about it too, where I wanted to just fall down, and I figured if I fall during my mile, they won't make me finish, so someone will come get me. But I didn't. But I hated the mile in my session, and I've since done 4 full marathons, and I don't know.
Oh, nice.
Half marathons, so many half. Last year was my first year, Jeff, that I didn't do a half marathon in the whole year since 15 years, probably 16 years. That's crazy.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know.
And you guys have done one every year since you started the show.
I know I didn't do one last year, but so anyway, running is a complicated relationship.
I think you would love triathlons.
Oh, triathlons are they're my favorite. I love them. We don't have very many around here anymore, so I haven't done one in probably 8 or 9 years, but I love training for triathlon. I love competing triathlon. Triathlon's really fun. I would highly recommend getting that on the books for you.
Nice. I definitely look forward to it. I'll have to keep you guys posted when I complete one and let you know how I finished.
Yeah.
If you can swim.
Oh, I can swim. I'm not a very fast swimmer, but I can swim. I can float.
Yep. That's the only part that matters.
There's my first triathlon, Wayne. I remember it was only like a 400-meter swim, and it was out and back in a lake. So like for training, like my first one, I was training in a pool, right? So you swim down, you push off the ledge, you're feeling good, you push off, you're like, man, I'm
pretty sure
swim
I probably told you should probably do some open water
You
swimming.
probably did,
right?
But as a typical guy,
I'll be fine.
I'm fine, right? I remember getting out in the lake, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's nothing for me to push off. Like I have to swim this whole time. I can't touch. And I remember I turned around at the buoy or whatever, and I looked back at the shore, and it looked like an eternity away. And I was like, Nicole thought maybe if I fall, I won't have to finish the mile. I thought it might just be easier to drown than to do this.
Right.
And
but
then
you didn't.
No,
That's what's
I
great
didn't.
about triathlon, because it sucks really bad, and then it's over, and you get to do something else, and it's nice. And then it's like switching gears.
Yes.
I like it.
And I remember too on my first one, you start in different waves, and they had the older group started way behind me, right? They probably thought, oh, the group that's over 60, 70, we don't want them to start in front of these young 30-year-olds because they'll just pass them. Well, I remember out on the run, here comes this old guy, and I looked down at his calf because that's where you put the ages.
Yeah, you have your ages on your calf during triathlon.
He just right it, and he's like 67.
And he outswam you.
Yep, outswam.
And
Caught me.
biked and caught you on the run. I know.
Yep.
That's what's fun about triathlon, though. There's so many things that are fun about tries. They're fun.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we are going to take our first break. We're going to talk a little baseball in this next segment because Wayne is a big baseball fan, not really too much of a football fan. Harrison and I were hoping you were a Bears fan because we're Bears fans, and we've never really had a Bears fan on. So we thought, oh, somebody from Illinois, certainly they're going to like the Bears. But
what little football I do watch, I am a Bears fan as far as that goes. But if you want to talk football, there's just not a whole lot I can do for you as far as that goes. But I have definitely root for the Bears, and I'll have a beer and pizza and watch them anytime with the buddies. But yeah.
We'll take that. That's a win.
That's a win. We'll be right
There you
back.
go.
We'll talk a little baseball in this next segment. So stay with us. 92.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey farmers, do you run a precision planting monitor in your planter tractor? Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting our annual 2020 Monitor Clinic at the Holthus Center in York on Wednesday, March 19th. They'll run through everything on the monitor, from basic setup to more complex downforce settings, and everything in between. You'll learn agronomy principles behind some of the monitor settings and will leave refreshed and ready to plant. Representatives from Precision Planting will be on hand to handle any questions that you can throw at them. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot.
There's no place like McKinney's Irish Pub for St. Patrick's Day, so mark your calendars to join in on the fun for their 11th annual Street Festival. The party starts on Saturday, March 15th, with tons of giveaways, a kilt contest, great Irish food, and green beer, and continues on Monday the 17th for actual St. Patrick's Day. Doors open for the bar at 11 a.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. on Monday, and the street party starts at 2 p.m. both days. Don't miss out on great music and great fun with no cover charge for St. Patrick's Day weekend at McKinney's 8th and P in the Haymarket.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R. Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Attention all wing fans! Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 89-cent boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.29 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today at 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are back. We got a short segment here. We're chatting with Wayne Galpin from Peoria, Illinois, who won the Male National Challenge Championship. So we've just been chatting with him. So before we get into his year-long Farrell's transformation story, we want to chat a little baseball. So, which I don't know if we really don't talk a lot of baseball on this show.
I know. All I know about baseball is from what our son talks about because he's a big baseball fan.
Yes,
he's getting fired up for it, though. He was chatting all about it 2 days ago.
Oh, he just bought his MLB season pass.
He's a Oriole.
He's an Orioles fan.
A lot of the fandom around here is Royals. You get a lot of that from Nick Sainer, Off Norman throughout the week.
Yeah.
So who's your team then, Wayne?
Definitely Chicago Cubs all day.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we need you to help Harrison and I out because you were able to see a World Series championship for the first time in your life in 2015, I believe, right? 2016. So as Bears fans, like I've seen the Bears win a Super Bowl when I was 7. So it's been 39 years for me. 1985. Yep. Harrison's never seen it. So
Harrison's our producer. You don't see him, but he's in the room with us.
Yeah, he's
also.
our producer.
Yeah.
And he's young. He's 25. So he hasn't been around too long. Okay. So when the Cubs won the World Series, how was that? Like, take us back to that moment. Something you just remember.
Think it was going to happen?
No, never thought it was going to happen. Honestly, it's just kind of with the goat curse and everything like that. And, being a Cubs fan, we talk a lot of smack with Cardinals fans and stuff like that too. So it's always a bragging point for a lot of my Cardinals fans out there and stuff like that about how many World Series rings they've got. And we like to talk a lot of smack and stuff like that, but they always seem to pull one up on us. But it was pretty awesome. I had a pretty good idea that they were going to win. I mean, that 2015, 2016 Cubs were pretty phenomenal those 2 years. I mean, even really 3 years after that. But I remember I had to go to Chicago for training for work the very next day. And so I stayed up until, I can't remember if it was like 1 o'clock in the morning watching this, and I had to get on the road by 3. So, so we're watching it, absolutely going insane. My next door neighbors at the time were big Cardinals fans. So, I mean, we would open up the window and gibber and stuff like that back and forth, constantly. But it was pretty incredible. I hope I get to see another one in my lifetime. I think we got a pretty good shot at looking pretty good this year. So we'll see what happens. But I remember going up to Chicago the very next morning, driving up there, super tired. And the instructor up there, the training that I was doing up there, pretty sure he had to be a Cardinals fan because he let us out. I think it was Friday, that following Friday, and they had the World Series parade. And I'm pretty sure that was like either the second largest gathering of people in the United States in history ever.
Wow.
And I mean, it was absolutely insane. So like when I would travel up north, there was a section of interstate that I would get off 55. And then from there to get into where I was going in Chicago was like a 20-minute drive. So when I left on that Friday, he wouldn't cut us out early. He made us stay the entire time. We're like, do you have any idea how epic this is? Like how huge of a big deal this is? And he's like, yep, don't care. And so literally that 20-minute drive on the way up there turned into a 3.5-hour drive on the way back. So it takes me three and a half hours to get to Chicago from where I'm at, and it took about 7.5 hours to get home.
You should have just went to
Really
the
insane.
parade, right? You should have
I
just
would have
went.
loved to. I would have loved to. It's unfortunately it's one of those things like company doesn't care about baseball. You got to do what you got to do. So if I could have took a vacation and left, I 100% would have done that.
Fun fact: Jeff is a Cardinals fan, and in our first segment, we were talking about our daughter's birth story. Well, our son's birth story was Ben was born the night that the Cardinals won the World Series in 2006.
They beat the Tigers.
And Jeff left me in the hospital to
Left
go
her-
home
left
and
her at
watch
the
the
hospital.
World Series. That's a misrepresentation. He
No.
went home with our daughter. He
That's
was
right.
home with Katie. So I'm just saying that. I'm just joking. He was home with the 3-year-old also watching the World
But
Series.
I'll tell you now. I'll tell
But
you.
that's a cool story because now that Ben's such a baseball
is.
fan, not a Cardinals fan though.
Well,
but
and I'll tell you, Wayne, I can't tell. I'm so immersed in Baltimore Orioles baseball because our 18-year-old son is like, I mean, he knows every player. He knows the AAA roster, the AA roster. I mean, it's just insane what he knows about this baseball team. And I could tell you almost the entire starting lineup for the Orioles, all their pitchers. Like we've been to usually when the Orioles play the Royals, like we've went down there 3 years in a row. So we've seen 6 Royals games, and the Orioles are 5-1 in those 6 games that we've seen. So we're gonna go back again, but I can't tell you one Cardinals player.
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
not a real baseball fan.
I wouldn't be able to sit down and watch a Cardinals baseball game for anything. Like that's just how much I've switched to. I wasn't really I watch baseball all the time, like used to, like, and I remember the Cubs with Mark Pryor and Kerry Wood and Steve Bartman and the whole collab. I mean, I remember all that stuff. I watched all that, but hadn't really cared about baseball that much. And then now 4 years ago, Ben just magically likes the Orioles, and they had lost like 100 and some games. And then now they're really good. But now I get to live with the heartbreak through his eyes.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
We could tell him, Ben, there's a chance. The Cubs won it. Anybody can win, right?
That's true.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've only met one Orioles fan that I can remember in my entire life living here in Central Illinois. I not a lot of Orioles fans out here in Central Illinois. A lot of Cubs fans, a lot of St. Louis fans. I'd say it's definitely split pretty hard out here. But I was actually in O'Fallon when the last time the Cardinals won the World Series. And we were watching it on TV, and I remember walking outside, and everything you would hear on the TV, you could hear outside, like 30 seconds to a minute later. Like when they actually won, and the fireworks and all that stuff went off, and you could hear the roar. And we were about 3 miles away. The roar was so loud, you would have swore that you were in the stadium with them. Like it almost looked like a bomb went off, and you were just like you're getting the shock wave of it. It was absolutely insane to see that being that far away.
Yeah, that's cool. And they beat the Rangers in that World Series.
Yep.
Don't think I've watched much Cardinal baseball since, but I do, like, even just yesterday, there's about 30 minutes before the Nebraska basketball game started, and Ben comes out and he's like, well, my card got, because he pays for the MLB pass just for the Orioles, so he can watch every single Orioles game. So we tuned in for some spring training baseball yesterday. Watch Paul Skeens pitching for the Pirates.
Oh, you got to soak it in. There's not a lot of regular season ball to watch, so on spring training.
And I've loved going to the last 6 games. Like
we have to go to break. I don't know why you're still talking.
We're fine.
Like, let's go to break.
I'm just trying to get our last little bit of sports in
I know you are.
before we have to actually talk about health and wellness and fitness. All right. Well, we're going to go to break. Top of the hour coming up, 937 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Hey farmers, do you run a precision planting monitor in your planter tractor? Boyd Farm Outfitters is hosting our annual 2020 Monitor Clinic at the Holthus Center in York on Wednesday, March 19th. They'll run through everything on the monitor, from basic setup to more complex downforce settings and everything in between. You'll learn agronomy principles behind some of the monitor settings and will leave refreshed and ready to plant. Representatives from Precision Planting will be on hand to handle any questions that you can throw at them. Visit BoydFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot.
Opportunity can knock at any moment. When it does, you can't afford to miss a call. That's why you need a business phone system that gives your team the flexibility to answer anytime, anywhere. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, we make it easy to equip your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. We enhance the efficiency technology provides while putting people first in all we do. That's why we meet your business right where you are by offering customized office technology solutions that meet your specific needs. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essink.
All right, welcome in. Hour number 2, The Fitness Fanatics, is sponsored by Modern Woodmen of America. Founded in 1883, Modern Woodmen offers financial services and member benefits to individuals and families throughout the U.S. For more information, please call Sean Erickson at 402-483-6515. Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures. Big shout out to them for being a part of the Fitness Fanatics. Nicole, I didn't tell you, Sean was actually in Des Moines this last week.
Oh, okay.
He sent me a picture and he said, guess where I'm at? And it was of the principal building. And I was like, well, you're in Des Moines.
Mm-hmm.
He actually likes the city. It's a nice city.
It's fine.
And I'll tell you what, we've driven through Peoria.
We have.
Yes.
On our way to the East Coast.
Yep. So
Okay.
we've driven through Peoria, didn't drive by the Farrell's locations, but we did drive by. And quick, this is an interesting story, Wayne. Back when the Peoria gym was opening, brand new location, Lance Farrell had actually asked Nicole and I if we wanted to move to Peoria to run it.
Mm-hmm.
Not own it, but run it.
Yep.
And at the time we had small kids and it just we weren't even owners of a gym at that time. We wanted to move to Lincoln in 2009. It didn't happen. And then Nicole was the manager of the Altoona gym, and Lance had asked us because they were looking for somebody to run it. And we're just like, oh.
You're trying to get down here in 09?
Time's not. Yes.
Oh, you guys were fleeing Iowa a long time ago.
Tried.
Trying as soon as we can to get out, but we just had to wait another 9 years before we actually did it. But so, Peoria and ours paths almost crossed.
Almost. If the timing would have been better.
It didn't.
Yep. Interesting.
So that's a fun fact about us in Peoria.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about your journey here, Wayne. I think it's funny because you started your session in January of 23, which means you ended your national challenge in March of 24.
Yep.
And then you have all that pressure of 9 months before you have to find out who the winner is. I feel like you were probably like, ooh, this was not great timing wise. I mean, but it's also great accountability.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that was kind of terrible, to be honest with you. I did not know that you had to wait like that long. It makes sense after they explained it to me, but it wasn't even on my radar when we signed up for it.
Sure.
A couple of us in Peoria decided to sign up for it, and then we got done. We're like, oh, man, so now we got to wait the entire time to go through this. I'm like, man, I could have planned this a little bit better so I wouldn't have to have the nail biting for 9 months. But it's all right. It worked out.
You had to stay in really good shape because you don't want Lance Farrell walking into the gym and giving you a check and you've gained all your weight back either, right? That was
right.
Probably a good plan.
Yeah, probably a good
in
plan.
hindsight.
Like, oh, I'm not done. I got to keep going. I got to just in case. Well, take us back to what were you doing before Farrell's? Like, did you do any exercise routines, or how was your relationship with food and exercise prior to starting the 10-week challenge? And then what led you into starting the 10-week challenge?
Yeah, I did not exercise at all, but I'm the type of person, I idle at 100 miles an hour. So I was always doing something. I never consider myself like a couch potato or anything like that. I was always out working in the yard, working on cars, playing with the kids, running around, doing something. So I was always very, very active, but, I kind of ate whatever I wanted to, not eat in moderation, eat, 3/4 of a pizza or, whatever I wanted to. Didn't really, life gets in the way and you have kids and stuff like that and in a busy job. So you kind of, a lot of gas station pizza and on the road and sodas and Polar Pops and, too many beers and it just goes on and on and on. Fitness and health. I wouldn't say I didn't eat bad, just ate a lot. Like I look back now that I've lost the weight and I've cultivated this diet with the help of Farrell's. I look back now, like a lot of stuff that I ate, what I wouldn't necessarily say was terrible for you because I do a lot of cooking at home. I love to cook. But looking at like the macros and the stuff that you put in there, it's just like, oh my God, what I used to eat for dinner sometimes would be more than what I eat in the entire day. Like I physically eat more now, but it's a lot better food. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, man, the calories and the carbs and the fat in one meal, it's just like, holy smokes. Like no wonder I was at that point. But everybody knows people that can kind of pretty much eat and drink whatever they want and they just don't put any weight on. And unfortunately, I'm just not one of those people. If I don't stay on top of it, it'll come back. So, but my biggest goal through going through this, you guys kind of made the comment, like stay in shape for the 9 months. My whole goal going through this was to make a lifestyle change permanently. And so there are some things I'd like to share with you guys when the time comes. to kind of talk about that and what's led into that with me and why I decided to go the route that I went instead of the route that other people take. And it's really cool to see how other people make their changes and what they do and how they get there. But it's for me, it's a lifelong goal, hopefully from here on out. So I've got the tools to make it successful, and hopefully that'll be the case.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what made you decide to do Farrell's?
Well, I had a couple friends that went through it and had some pretty good results. They were kind of hounding me, like, hey, you got to go. And, they weren't full time. They go through 10 weeks and then, they'd go on about life, and then hit the 10 weeks again and kind of go on about life. They wouldn't say that they were fit members, just kind of in and out, and type of thing. I mean, of course, I was a lot bigger than they were, but, I always had an excuse as far as, like, man, I can't go after work because my wife is a school teacher. She doesn't get home until later, and we got the kids. And normally after work, I've got a project or something going on. I'm like, I don't think I can get up that early. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. So I put it off for a long time. And finally, I got to the point, stepped on the scale one day and was like, man, I've got to do something about this. Like, I just thought that I weighed so much that I was never, ever going to be able to get it off. Like, I just figured, like, man, that my skinny days are way behind me. And, I would say a couple years after high school is when I started putting weight on. It's just progressed. I just thought I was just going to be a big guy the rest of my life. And I finally got to the point where it got to me enough where I'm like, I've got to try and do something. And, it only takes that little bit of motivation to, and a little bit of results that you see to motivate you to drop the hammer and really buckle down and do this. And you're like, okay, now I can do this. I'm starting to see a little bit of results here. I can do this. I need to make a change for my life. I didn't want to be fat dad no more.
What was the challenges that you faced over the initial 10-week challenge? What was because we don't want it to we have members on that have had great results but we want people to understand that it's like this doesn't happen overnight. There's
a lot of times people make it seem easy.
Yeah.
That's how it was with Mark too. He made it look very easy. But there's always things going on in the background. Everyone has challenges and stuff. So we like to bring reality to the situation. Like, what were the challenges you had during those first 10 weeks?
First off, getting up at 4:00 in the morning is tough if you're not used to doing that. Like, I'm not a late person. So, I mean, I usually get up early anyways, but not that kind of early. And then literally going from a diet to where you're literally consuming anything you want at any given time to completely overhauling that and then learning how to do that. That's a big challenge right there, is learning how to do it. And then, portion control, and then how to tailor that to where you're satisfied and you're not starving. Because I feel like if you don't do that, and, because everyone can get on a fad diet, everyone can go through this, and they get on these diets and then they're starving to the point to where they're unhappy. Like, they've got the motivation and the excitement to carry them through the 10 weeks. But after that 10 weeks, now what? Now the newness is kind of wore off, and you feel like, then you start to slip and stuff like that. So that was a big challenge there. We had a lot of good instructors and good people in there that kind of helped keep you motivated and excited like that. But you start getting around that 5-week mark and you start seeing, you don't see some of the results that you were kind of hoping to see. Like, everyone thinks like, oh, I'm just going to run in there and I saw so-and-so do it. They look great after their 10 weeks. I can't believe it. Well, 5 weeks, it takes about 5 weeks for your body to acclimate and to start reacting, I think, to the changes that you do, the food that you eat, the diet and everything like that. So I think, at least for me, and I know for a lot of other people out there, through the 5 weeks, you kind of start to lose a little steam. And then it's like a week or two after that, oh my God, it just picks up, and then you get excited, you see some results, you step on the scale, you're like, wow, this looks great, or my pants are fitting a little bit better. And you just kind of take off. And I see it throughout the last year. I've seen people go through that over and over and over again. And, we try to be a big motivator to some of those people and let them know, like, hey, keep at it. Keep pushing through this. You will see that. Some people see results earlier on than other people do, and some people don't see them till the end of their 10 weeks. And that kind of demotivates people from time to time too. But everybody's different, and you just got to stay positive, got to stay engaged, and got to have that grit to keep going. And I think Farrell's does a really good job of motivating people to acknowledge that. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows for sure. So it definitely takes a lot of work.
Well,
Yeah,
you
Jeff and
you sound just like Nicole and I
Jeff and
talking
I
to
are
our
just
members.
looking at each other, and I'm like, people are gonna think that we set this up. We didn't know you were gonna say that, because I have this saying that I say a lot to our people, and on the radio I tell people they're not special, but it's my way of saying, like, that's normal. So, like, the things that keep you from your goals and make you think that like, oh, I'm the only one going through that. That does not make you special. It makes you totally normal. So it's like,
Yeah.
you sound exactly like we say to our 10 weekers. I mean, you've seen it over the last year. We've seen it over the last 18 years. I've been in the program for 18 years.
Holy cow.
Like, yeah. So like, it's not a unique experience. You're not special when you go through that and when you have these really high expectations for week 5. And the reality is you're probably only 25% of the effort that goes into the 10-week challenge is done at week 5. Like the rest of that effort and results happens afterwards. And sometimes that's really hard to get people to make that connection. So it's important to hear it from so many other different people. So it doesn't surprise me that you said that, but I promise we didn't make that up.
I know. Yeah. So I'm sure Kathy's had many conversations.
Everyone,
like
anybody
those.
who's had, yeah.
And the reason too, Wayne, and you know this, is our meal plan isn't designed for a quick fix.
Yes.
No,
It's
definitely
designed
not.
for, like what you were saying, long-term sustainability. Something where, your life isn't totally turned upside down, where we're not like, all right, Wayne, you're starting this 10-week challenge and you cannot eat a bad calorie for the next 10 weeks. You're just kind of setting yourself up for failure, because that's, so it's crazy when people we try to keep people's expectations low. Like
for the first 5
yes,
weeks, for
yes.
sure. As long as you're trusting the process, you're,
Mhm.
doing the program. And I think you can probably agree this is also a very universal experience for people when you very first start the Farrell's meal plan, which there's nothing secret about it. It's very balanced. It's very balanced protein, carbs, and fats. But at the first 2 weeks, you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't think I can eat all of this food, because you're eating nutrient dense food, not calorie dense food. So it feels like
Yep.
a lot. When I'm sure I'm going to ask this question because I know it happened, but like, what was the time where that switched for you, where you're just like, at first you're like, I can't eat all of this, but you stuck with it. And then like, at what point did it start to get to that where you're like, okay, how can I maximize these, my goals so I'm not hungry? Because inevitably your body will adapt. And then you will start getting hungry. You get hungry and you look at the clock and you're like, yep, it's time to eat. Like, how long did that take for you, if you remember?
Probably pretty close to the 5 weeks. For me, it was a mental thing, and I think you got to be mentally prepared to do this and be strong at first. You know what I mean? Because I think your body craves, the sugars and the carbs and all the good stuff that you had ate before. And when I mean good stuff, don't get me wrong, you can still eat a lot of good stuff. I'm not saying that you have to go
I
through that,
appreciate that
but
you said good stuff though, and not bad stuff, because it is
yeah,
still good stuff. It's just
it's
not
just healthy stuff,
nutrient
right?
dense, right?
Yeah, so it's a
Calorie dense.
lot healthier stuff. So, and you can still make the same things that you always ate. You just substitute things that are in there. So I would say, the first couple weeks were definitely rough, but I was really motivated, and so you've kind of got that, not confidence, but you're that newness is still there. You're still excited. You're going to the gym every day. And after that, I would say the first 2 to 3 weeks, you start feeling a lot better. Like you don't have that soreness anymore, and you got a little more energy. And then, so you start to crest around like the 5 weeks scenario. But I would say after the 5 weeks is when I started to see a little bit of results. It motivated me to continue to push on. And then as time goes on, I found out, between people sharing on the members only Facebook page and stuff like that, sharing like meal prep plans and different substitutes and stuff that they have found. And then just over the last year, developing different things to come up with and different substitutes and just how to make things a lot better. And I think once you do that, some of the things that maybe didn't taste great to you when you first started, like fresh vegetables and stuff like that, that stuff starts to taste good after a while. Like you couldn't get me to drink water prior to starting Farrell's if you were pulling my teeth out. Like I just didn't like to drink it. I drink everything but that. And now that's pretty much all I drink. And now when I eat dinner and stuff like that, I look forward to eating some of the things that I would have ate before, but they're like, nah, you go to grandma's house and she makes it and you're going to eat it because you're hungry, but that's, about it. But, yeah, I would say within the first couple of weeks, once you start seeing some results, kind of kicked it into high gear for me to go down that rabbit hole 100%.
So before we go to break, because we still have a couple minutes, and then when we come back from break, we'll talk about kind of some of that sustainability that you were talking about. But before we go to break, I just like to give people an idea of like, what did maybe a typical day of eating look like for you before you started Farrell's, and what does a typical day of eating look like for you now? Because it always, if you're not in that world, like imagine this is 3 years ago and you're listening to you say this stuff and you're just like, I don't understand what any of this means. I don't understand what it means to like eat vegetables and enjoy them and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
so kind of go through what a typical day of eating before and now is, just to give people an idea of comparison wise.
Sure. So for me, it's got to be convenient. I've got a really busy lifestyle, so everything's convenience for me. So prior to going into Farrell's, I would eat some kind of a pastry, maybe like a Pop-Tart, maybe a bowl of cereal, some, Casey's breakfast pizza. I don't know if you guys have Casey's where you guys are
Yes,
from.
we do.
We love it.
It's my
our-
nemesis.
Yeah.
Love it.
Casey's is my nemesis.
Two
We're
for
we're
20 bucks.
Midwesterners, so we definitely know
Oh,
about
absolutely.
Casey's.
Oh,
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Everything
Yeah, I've
you
had
could
that.
possibly want at Casey's.
Oh yeah.
I know.
So I'd eat that. Definitely an energy drink in the morning, and not a sugar-free one. Definitely full sugar. Looking at what's in there, it's like, oh my gosh. So do that, and then normally I'd hit up a vending machine or stop by a gas station or something like that around somewhere in between there and lunch. And then lunch was always fast food, almost always fast food. Never brought, unless I made good leftovers from the night before. And then you get home and then just potato chips or snacks, pretzels, kind of whatever was in the fridge. But yeah, I'd be hungry when I get home, so it was never in moderation, right? And then dinner would normally be burgers, brats on the grill, tenderloin, stuff like that. I do a lot of I love to cook, so I do a lot of homemade stuff like stroganoffs and stuff like that. Very rich in flavor, very good, but very high in fat, carbs, and in calories and stuff like that. So that was basically before, and then almost always I have ice cream before I go to bed, and I'd always eat way too much, and I'd eat right before I go to bed. So
Like every day you would have ice cream every day.
pretty much, yeah, pretty much,
that
yeah,
sounds amazing.
yeah.
That's
Well, and
crazy.
I can't just,
I
I
mean,
love
that's
ice cream,
normal.
so
It's
I
normal
can't just eat a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I mean, it sounds like you were eating how I ate before I started doing Farrell's.
Yes.
It's like,
yeah,
Like
chips,
everybody. Again, that does
pop.
not
Mhm.
make
Oh
you
my gosh.
special. That is a completely normal day for
Yeah.
almost everybody. Yeah.
So
And then-
once I switched gears,
Yeah.
basically what I did was actually what I do now is totally different than when I first started. But when I first started, basically I would do like a cooking sheet, like for like not cupcakes and stuff like that. And I'd make like these little egg whites in each one, and I'd put a little bit of bacon and an onion in there and stuff like that. And then I kind of transitioned from that to like a PB Fit toast. So I would take like a keto bread and then that PB Fit powder, and then basically mix it up. And then so it'd be like toasted peanut butter toast every day. And then normally a couple hours later, I would usually eat like some oranges or something like that, or a banana. And then around 10 o'clock or so, I would eat a salad. So just a regular salad, but I still put some light amount of croutons in there, fat-free cheese, and then sometimes I'll put like some fresh bacon bits in there. So, and then normally for lunch, it would be either whatever I made for dinner the night before that was healthy, or I would just make like a wrap with like turkey and fat-free cheese or something like that. Just kind of a bunch of different things, and then get home, eat in moderation. So maybe some cottage cheese, some small wheat thins or something like that. Enough to satisfy you, but not engorge yourself. And then for dinner, it's usually I like to eat a lot of fish now. I never liked that before, so I eat a lot of fish or chicken, and I'll cut the chicken up and I'll make an Italian dish out of it with some protein noodles, or I'll make I've got like a stir fry that I can do with it. I mean, or I could just cut it up or fillet them and put them on the grill. I mean, make sandwiches out of them. I mean, I do all kinds of stuff. I've come up with all kinds of clever ways to eat healthy, and my family still enjoys to eat it too. So it's not like, oh my God, it's so like bare bones that like nobody wants to eat it but me. I mean, literally whatever I cook, the whole family eats and they enjoy it. So
I know. I think that's part of it, the learning curve of like learning how to make substitutions and how you can still make your food taste really good. I think
that takes a
people
while.
think it has to be bland.
It has to be salads, and
Yeah.
I mean, you're just eating
Nope.
spinach and
Right. Broccoli and chicken. Doesn't have to be.
no,
No.
we make these healthy foods, and we're like, wow, this tastes really
Yeah.
good.
Right. I know.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, you could take zucchini or something like that, and then I just dice it up and I'll throw it in a little olive oil and season it up really nice. Throw it on the grill or in the oven, and I mean, take it out. That's usually the sides that I have. Or there's always a way to churn something up to make it taste pretty good, and that way you don't like absolutely hate eating it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to throw it to break.
Yep.
Stay with us. We'll keep this awesome conversation going with Wayne. So we'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
What's your radon level at home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. 467-1111 for radon testing and mitigation.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, four-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Is your office technology holding your business back? At Hamilton, we're more than just an IT provider. We're your partner, focused on building integrated technology solutions tailored to your business needs, both today and for the future. We know that every business is unique, and that's why we provide the services and support you need and nothing you don't. We believe that together, you can continue to serve and support your customers while knowing that your technology is taken care of. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket
every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. We have been joined for the last hour by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping's national champion, Wayne Galpin from Peoria, Illinois. We've had an awesome conversation here.
Hold on, because I know you're going to try to segue, but I do want to talk about something really fast because we also have your graphic teed up. So before we talk about the sustainability part and why that was important to you, let's just talk about results really fast. What were your stats over the last year? And then Harrison can share that picture and then we can talk about that other stuff.
Sure. You looking for stats for me?
Yeah.
For the year, your year challenge.
And then Harrison, our producer, is going to share your picture.
Yeah. So overall, I lost about 64 pounds overall, and then I think I was down 16% body fat. And then I lost, I think, 27 inches, somewhere in that neighborhood like that. But the thing for me is if you look at the numbers that I've lost, there's other people out there that have really good numbers and improvements and stuff like that. But for me, it was just a lot of strength involved with that. So for example, I didn't win my first 10 weeks challenge, and then we had a bunch of mini challenges along the way, and I didn't win any of those either. We had some really fierce competition in Peoria. So, you kind of think man, am I not working hard enough? Am I not doing enough? But I pushed as hard as I could do without sacrificing being sane. And I think these are some of the results that I got, and I'm pretty proud of them.
Your thing says you lost 27.5 inches. What did you say?
Yeah, 27.5. Is that not what I said? Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe I wasn't listening.
Wow, what a shocker that is.
I was just being honest. I don't know, but yeah.
Gotcha,
that's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's not always about the numbers too. It is also about your transformation and how you look.
Yes.
Everybody's different. You could say you lost 64 pounds, but that also doesn't put into perspective how tall you are, how much muscle mass you had to start out with, how much muscle mass you maintained over the past year. So you could have lost more weight, but you wouldn't have had that transformation in the picture that would have actually shown those changes. So it's all very relative, but it's still just something that we want to recognize and be
I'm not very tall. I'm 5'9", barely on a good day. So so when you start seeing some of those people that are a little bit bigger and stuff like that, those numbers can obviously change. So it's awesome to see that, so, and like I said, your body composition has everything to do with what your numbers are going to look like afterwards. So just because you didn't lose 100 pounds, I don't think physically I have 100 pounds I could have lost, so just because you lose the weight or something like that, or you see some really big number from somebody else, doesn't mean that you're failing.
Right. Absolutely. And so, the thing that I love the most about the national challenge for people, because the 10-week challenge is great. And I would venture to say most people who are very successful in the national challenge don't win their 10-week challenge. I think that's very common. But the thing I like about the national challenge is because for 10 weeks, you can pretty much put your life on hold, give your 110% for that 10 weeks and see really great changes. But then, like you said, if you're doing things that aren't sustainable, you're going to go right back to your bad habits. The thing I like about the national challenge is it gives you an opportunity to navigate an entire year. You get through every holiday, you get through every season, you get through everything that might have tripped you up in the past. We can do anything for a short amount of time, but if you can stay focused for the long term, that's where you're going to see success. So for me, when I'm trying to talk someone into doing the national challenge, they have questions about it. That's what I tell them is the best benefit of it. You get to learn how to navigate all of those things that have maybe held you back in the past. And so talk about that, how maybe your mindset has shifted and why, like, you can see yourself continuing to do this forever now.
Yeah, definitely. So after, like I said, not winning the first 10 weeks and some of these other challenges and stuff, I mean, I had to be close. I poured my heart and soul into it, but I was determined to make a long-term change. And so I used the 1 year challenge with the mindset that like, hey, I'm not expecting to win this 1 year challenge. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna work as hard as I possibly can. Not so much for the challenge, to win it, to say that, hey, I won this challenge, or for the money or for anything else. It was more along the lines of accountability. And, if you'd asked me when I went through my first 10 weeks if I was going to sign up for the 1 year challenge when I started, I'd have been like, no, you're crazy. I'm going to do this 10 weeks. That's going to be it. And then, you make some friends in class and stuff like that. And you talk to other people that are currently going through it, the 1 year challenge, or are planning on signing up for. So basically, I went into it with an open mind to use this as a tool to help keep me accountable along the way. And then if I do win, that's a bonus. That's great. But I didn't look at it as so much of it as a competition, but as more of a challenge to myself to see, can I keep this going for a long haul? How am I going to react over the year? Over this last year, what are the holidays going to look like? And to kind of help, like I said, use it as a tool to keep myself accountable. So the fact that I got the opportunity to win the 1 year challenge was great. But if somebody else would have won it, or somebody else that I knew, or anybody else, it wouldn't have broken my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I've got the results that I wanted to see, and it was a lifestyle change for me. So it's a very good tool to keep you motivated along the way. Don't set yourself up for failure. And if you do fail, just take a step back. Like, okay, hey, the holidays were here, or hey, I'm going through something right now, or my life's really busy. You can always re-engage, and get back on, and you'd be amazed at how fast you can bounce back. But yeah, it's an absolutely great tool. If you want to stay motivated and you want or have that goal in mind, it's definitely a great tool to help keep you going. And I think once you come off the high of the first 10 weeks, you'll have moments where like, oh man, sometimes the classes get a little mundane sometimes, or sometimes like, man, I just need a break or something like that, or getting up this early, or I'm gonna take a little time off. The big thing is just to keep going and keep going. And then I would say you get about halfway through the 1 year challenge and you become comfortable. Everything that you have been learning to do for the last 6 months becomes your new life. It becomes normal to you now. So like eating healthy and getting up, going to the gym that early, and going to bed super early. Yeah, as you guys know, you know what I mean? It helps keep it the repetition there, and it becomes normal life from there on out. And I think most people that aren't committed to something like that may or may not feel that way about it. But what I did before barrels and what I do now, two totally different things. And I feel like I've been doing this for the last 10 years. So definitely a good way to help keep you accountable.
How has going through this year-long challenge, and now it's been over 2 years since you've been at Farrell's, getting in better shape and being healthier, like how has that changed? Like not just, the way you look and feel, but like, your role as a husband, father, your job, like, I mean, how has that impacted other areas of your life?
I mean, it's affected every aspect of my life. I play with my kids, quite a bit. My healthy diet, definitely protracts other people. They see me and they ask me questions about how they can get into shape or what I did. My wife herself, within the first, 6 months I was at Farrell's, lost 20 pounds, not working out, just eating healthy with me. Mentally, it's definitely put me in a lot better place. I'm always in a lot better mood. I don't feel sluggish. Not nearly as irritated, over some things and stuff like that, working on cars or climbing around, doing different projects and stuff like that. It's just been, so much better. Mentally, it just puts you in a better place. I don't know if it's just being healthier does that for you, but I don't know. You can recover. I don't get sick nearly as often. And when I do, I recover a lot better. And I think I don't know, mentally, I think being healthy and being in shape and having something to do every morning, waking up and starting your day, with that grind, I don't know. I think mentally it just does tremendous things for you.
Yeah, as far as the mental part goes, I kind of think about it as like willful suffering, especially when you're a morning workout person. Like if you get up and do a workout the very first thing. Like, I'll tell people when I'm instructing, I'll jokingly tell them, like, if we have to do burpees in a workout or something and they're complaining, and I'm like, hey, if burpees are the worst part of your day, you're going to have a pretty good day, you know? So I think if you force yourself to do something that you know you're going to be uncomfortable in the moment, but you're going to be glad that you did it, I think that's where that mental part comes. And a lot of times people don't push themselves past that point, and it just, they build it up in their head that, like, oh, I'm going to have to get up early, I have to do this workout. But once you're there and you're in it, you feel so much better. It's such a weird disconnect, and it's hard sometimes for people to make that connection, but I think you just have to do it. You just
Yeah,
have to do it whether you like it or not sometimes.
it sets my day up for success every day. It's kind of like waking up and making your bed. You know, why no one's going to see your bed made. I mean, you're going to get back into bed later on at night and mess it back up. But it's just one of those things to say that you completed something in the morning to start your day. And you know, for me, it's a great way to start the day. You know, I get home and I mess around the house for a little bit, make my lunch for the day, and when I walk into work, I'm prepared and focused, and I'm ready to go. So when I don't work out that day, I feel like, oh man, I made a mistake or I did something wrong. Or I don't know, feel off kilter. So I'll have to get a workout somewhere else in the day. But for me, it's a good mental thing, and I love starting my day that way.
Yeah, I think that, so a lot of times we like to give advice for people to, like, who aren't ready to do ferals yet, or maybe not quite ready to commit. And I think that would be one of the biggest pieces of advice. Like, even if you're not ready to work out 45 minutes a day, you're not ready to do that. Like, you still, the first step would be to create space for that. So create a habit that's going to take some time. Maybe it's like getting up and reading or some type of personal development. And then at the point where you're ready to, you get that habit down, then that's where maybe you can insert a walk, or you can insert ferals, or insert some type of workout regimen. But I think so many times people think, okay, I signed up for this 10-week program, everything in my life is going to change now. But if you don't change anything else, it's not going to change. Like, you have to change everything.
Yeah, it's kind of tough going at first, but the good thing about the 10-week program is it gradually leads you into that. Like, you got to make the commitment to get up and go. You know, you start out with that, and you just, you don't have to go from eating a whole bunch of crap like you did before, and then you go down to eating nothing. It's a slow transition process, and that's what advice I'd give anybody, is to just slowly transition into it. If you want to think about this for the long haul, you know what I mean? Don't give up everything right away. Just kind of, pick a day for yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do, or eat whatever it is that you want to eat. We could probably go on all day about nutrition and stuff like that, but I'd say go into it just like you said, start out slow, start with something that might, inhibit you getting up that early, or something with the mindset, maybe change your diet just a little bit, or, just start thinking about it, get in the mode before you go in there and do it. And then once you get in there and do it, just put your head down and go.
Mm-hmm.
How important in your success was the relationships you met at ferals? Because we talk about at orientation, like, one, you're gonna get out of the program what you put in it, and one of the ways, well, maybe the number one way you're going to be successful is to interact with your teammates, right? This is
or other people in the gym,
or other people. So I'm assuming, Wayne, you just didn't come in, you rolled in 2 minutes before class, you worked out, and you were out the door in 2 seconds, just by yourself, right? You were interacting with people.
Go ahead and talk about that, and how that maybe helped you along your way too.
That was the biggest part, I think, at ferals, period. And I think that's what ferals has to offer more than any other place that's out there, is the interaction. Like, you can go to a gym and you can meet people and you're going to talk here and there type of thing. But man, the interactions that you have with ferals is absolutely crazy. My first day there, I was, super duper nervous. There's people in there in really good shape, people like myself, kind of quiet. You don't really say a whole lot, but then you kind of look around the room. You're like, man, there's a lot of people in here that are in the same boat that I am in right now. Like, they're coming here to make a lifestyle change. Some, might not be overweight. They just might want to get healthy. And some people are overweight and they want to make a total lifestyle change. Some people are going to make it through, some people aren't. But man, everyone from the owner to the instructors to the people that were in there, without them, there's 100% no doubt in my mind that I would be where I'm at today. I might have went down that path, maybe had some success. I wouldn't have the success that I have now, because they help keep you engaged. It makes it fun to go there so you can see your friends and stuff like that. And then there's obviously the competition factor part of it. You get with people that you've met in there, and it becomes a competition, whether you're, over MEPS or steps, or, how hard can you work out? How fast can you run? There's just a lot of good camaraderie in there. And, there's a lot of good instructors in there. And as a whole, as a community there, it is instrumental. And I haven't seen it, and I just don't know where else you're going to go to get that. And I think that is the biggest driving force that you see at Farrell's for success. They have a lot to offer, but the atmosphere there is awesome.
The thing I like, we have to go to break, but I'm pulling a Jeff and starting a sentence when we're supposed to go to break. But the thing I like about Farrell's too is at any given moment, you can look around the room and know that every single person in that room started exactly the same way. We all started as a 10-week member. We all started, getting that half naked picture taken by a stranger.
Oh, yeah.
All of us, from the fittest person in the room to the longest, tenured instructor, we all started in that same way. We all still had those feelings and apprehensions. And that part was always really comforting to me as a member. Like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not special. I'm not the only one that has gone through this experience. It does kind of bond you a little bit to everyone, even if it's a little bit of a trauma bond, maybe that before picture, but it's worth it.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we're going to go to take our last break, right?
We'll go to break. We'll be right back. Finish up this conversation with Wayne. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse.
Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back. We just have a few more minutes with Wayne. So, Wayne, watching your video, we rewatched the video here. Everything you say in there, it's like that's true. Whether you're walking into Farrell's in Peoria, you're walking into a Farrell's in Denver, Colorado, you're walking into Lincoln, Nebraska, Bellevue, La Vista, Minneapolis. I mean, Altoona, Ames. No matter what Farrell's you walk into and you do your 10-week challenge in, everything that you talked about, the camaraderie and the teamwork and the instructors and coaches and owners, and it's the same everywhere. That's what's really cool is like all the Farrell's locations are the same. I mean, they're a little different.
I always like
they're all
to
the
say
same.
it's like we all speak the same language, but we might have different accents.
Yes, different accents.
Like
Definitely.
terminology might be slightly different and stuff like that, just the way we say things or, but
Yes.
the core of the program, we all speak the same language. We just might have different little accents or little slang words that we throw in there.
Right. And the core it's just cardio, strength training, and nutrition.
Yep.
That's it.
Mhm.
And you can do that really anywhere, but I always think what makes Farrell's really cool is that all the owners, Nicole and I have gone through a 10-week challenge.
Just
Kathy,
talked about
yeah,
that in the last
that's what's cool though, because we
Okay.
can relate to every single person that
Yes,
starts.
100%.
And that's the case all over the country. I mean, any Farrell's you walk into, you're gonna do some kickboxing and it's really cool. So
Well, going from someone who did not work out and then started Farrell's, like this last part, talk about what your advice would be. I mean, not even just start Farrell's, like whatever. Obviously, that would be our advice, but like your
yes,
advice,
that's our advice for
right?
every listener.
Yeah, just your like advice, your tips for success for people that are just like maybe feel exactly how you felt. Like maybe this morning they got up and weighed themselves and they're just like, I just don't know if there's anything else for me from here. So what advice would you give to those?
Yeah, definitely. The biggest piece of advice that I think I would give to anybody who want to start out is to number one, trust the program. Yeah, that's going to be huge for you to trust the program. And number two, slow and steady wins the race. Give you an example. When I first started, we did the 1 mile race. A lot of people who haven't probably ran in, let's say, 20 years, like myself, when they say, okay, go, and they start the race, everyone wants to take off running as fast and as hard as they possibly can. Now, if you're a competitive runner or something like that, that's typically what you want to do to break out away from the pack. But I told a lot of people, even, that looked just like myself at the time when I started, I said, just remember, slow and steady wins the race. Your whole goal to do this is to hopefully run the entire thing, but to finish this 1 mile run, walk, whatever it's got to be. So slow and steady wins the race, in my opinion. I think that follows on not just from the run, but the entire Farrell's program. I think what I see a lot of times people do is they get in to the 10-week program and they start seeing the results and they get excited and stuff like that. And they start pushing themselves too hard, to, in my opinion, something that's not sustainable. So for me, I just did one 45-minute workout. I didn't work out twice a day. I didn't, go crazy on a diet that made me unhappy. or anybody else around me unhappy, or, 'cause you go through that, it's going to make you grumpy or something along the lines eventually. And I didn't take any, you don't have to take a bunch of supplements. I didn't take any supplements. I didn't take any pre-workout. Like literally it was 100% diet and 1 45-minute workout. And to me, you got to keep it simplistic. You got to keep it easy. Some people have that high intensity lifestyle, and they have a goal in mind of where they want to be, whether it be super high cardio and start competing in things like half marathons or triathlons or something like that. Or maybe a guy wants to, or a gal wants to get into weightlifting and seriously put that pound or that muscle mass on. But you got to walk before you can run, and you need to get into a good habit. And I think going through the Farrell's program is going to develop that for you. Just don't go too head over heels on it. Don't go too hard, too fast. Get that lifestyle down, get somewhere where you're comfortable, and then make that decision. Like, okay, now I'm going to get serious. Now I want to do a cut, or now I want to do a bulk, or now I want to focus on cardio. Just don't run before you learn to walk. That would be my biggest advice to people.
That's great advice. I was wondering sure if you were going to
I'm
say
good.
something. Okay. No, that's really, really good advice. And I think it's important that people understand that it is a process and you didn't just like do this overnight. That's why we like talking to you about your journey. But thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, sharing your journey, and congratulations again on your win.
Yep. And keep using your results to help motivate others and help change other people's lives, because that's the circle of Farrell's. One person helps change another life. That person helps change. And that's why Farrell's has been around for 23 years.
Yep.
And going strong. All right. Thanks, Wayne. We'll be in touch. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Right. You too.
Every